The man answered without a blink. "Sorry, miss. He's not here."
"When will he return?"
"I'm afraid I can't say, miss."
"Not at liberty to divulge his movements, either?"
"No, miss. We just don't know." After a second of regarding her, possibly noting her increasing choler, the clerk suggested, "He's around the settlement somewhere, miss. If you keep your eyes open, perhaps you might run into him." For several seconds, her tongue burned with the words with which she would like to flay him and his friends, and the naval attaché, too. Ask at the Admiralty. It was half a world away. Thanking them for their help, even if sarcastically, occurred only to be dismissed. She couldn't force the words past her lips. Feeling anger, the worst sort, laced with real fear, geysering inside her, she cast the clerk still facing her a stony glare. Then she picked up her reticule, spun on her heel, and marched out of the office. Her half-boots rang on the thick, weathered planks of the wharf. Her intemperate strides carried her off the wharf and up the steps to the dusty street. Skirts swishing, she paced rapidly on, climbing the rise to the bustle of Water Street. Just before she reached it, she halted and forced herself to lift her head and draw in a decent breath. The heat closed around her, muffling in its cloying sultriness. The beginnings of a headache pulsed in her temples. Now what? She'd come all the way from London, determined to learn where Will had gone. Clearly, she'd get no help from the Navy itself. But there'd been something about the way the clerk had reacted when she'd suggested that there was a specific reason Will had been ashore. Her older brothers were in the Navy too, and both, she knew, had served ashore at various times, dispatched by their superiors on what amounted to secret missions. Not that she or their parents, or even their other siblings in the Navy, had known that at the time. Had Will been dispatched on some secret mission too? Was that the reason he'd been ashore? Ashore long enough to have been captured and taken by the enemy? Eileen frowned. After a moment, she gathered her skirts and resumed her trek up to and around the corner into Water Street, the settlement's main thoroughfare. She needed to make several purchases in the shops lining the street before hiring a carriage to take her back up Tower Hill to her lodgings. While she shopped, the obvious questions revolved in her brain. Who on earth was the enemy here? And how could she find out?
"Good morning, Miss Hopkins. You've been out early."
Eileen turned from closing the front door of Mrs. Hoyt's boarding house for genteel ladies to face its owner. Mrs. Hoyt was a round, genial widow and a redoubtable gossip who lived vicariously through the lives of her boarders. Her arms wrapped around a pile of freshly laundered sheets, Mrs. Hoyt beamed at Eileen. With frizzy red hair and a round face, she filled the doorway to her rooms to the left of the front hall, opposite the communal parlour. Having already taken Mrs. Hoyt's measure, Eileen held up a small bundle of brown paper-wrapped packages.
"I needed to buy some stationery. I must write home."
Mrs. Hoyt nodded approvingly.
"Indeed, dear. If you want a lad to run your letters to the post office, you just let me know." "Thank you."
With a non-committal dip of her head, Eileen walked on and up the stairs. Her room was on the first floor. A pleasant corner chamber, it faced the street. Lace curtains screened the window, lending an aura of privacy. Before the window sat a plain lady's desk with a stool pushed beneath it. Eileen laid her packages and reticule on the desk, then stripped off her gloves before unbuttoning her lightweight jacket and shrugging it off. Even with the window open,